Right, ready to give you the truth in sports. Now, today, what I'm going to talk about is a subject that I find pretty fascinating, and one of the things about this subject is kind of controversial for some people, but it needs to be out there, and that's why I'm bringing you the truth in sports. I want to talk about Jason Campbell and the Washington Redskins. Also, I'm going to bring up some points which I received in email with one of the broadcasts on black quarterbacks. I'm not going to go into the whole black quarterback debate, but I am going to point out some things about Jason Campbell that a lot of people are missing. One, the Redskins organization, Dan Snyder, since he's had that team, he hasn't won anything. So one of the things I don't like is the way that they're handling Jason Campbell. The man has had a different offensive system every year since he's been in Washington, and they expect him to perform at a high level. He has improved each year that he's been in the league, but this is what gets me, is that how can you take a guy like that you drafted in the first round and then play with him by going after Cutler and doing other things and sending a signal to the guy that he's not your guy. All this guy does is come to work. He comes to work. He wins football games, doesn't turn the ball over much, and is a good citizen. But for some reason, that's not enough. He's not your typical what people say black quarterback that wants to take off and run with the ball. That's not his game. The guy has a big, strong kid, has a great arm, can throw the ball if given time. And I think if you put him in a system where he has an opportunity to learn the system, for one, he's going to be very successful. I look at his numbers from last year. He had an 84 quarterback rating. Some people don't realize this. He had a higher quarterback rating than Ben Roethlisberger. And Big Ben is considered an elite quarterback. Super Bowl, has 2 Super Bowl rings. And Big Ben, some people are saying he's a top 3 quarterback in the league. I don't see that. But Ben is good. He's solid. My point is, for some reason, Jason Campbell, and really any black quarterback, doesn't get their due when it comes to sheer production on the field and numbers. You look at Donovan McNabb. How many franchise quarterbacks out there in the prime of their career will be where there'll be so much talk about whether they are going to remain in the city or whether they should be benched or not? All kind of crazy stuff, which is really, I don't understand when you're dealing with a franchise quarterback. I'm going to get back to Jason Campbell. Let's look at McNabb. From what I understand, McNabb has one of the best touchdown to interception ratios in the history of the NFL. In the history of the NFL. But this guy has taken Philly to I don't know how many NFC championship games. He's taken them to the Super Bowl. The team has never surrounded him with the type of talent that his play deserves. And it's really a shame and a travesty, really, that he has remained in Philly. Last year, I was saying, man, if I was Donovan, I would be so out of Philly. I would have gone home to Chicago and said, you know what, Philadelphia and your fans, you just sit there and remember what it was like all those years when you didn't have a quarterback. They hadn't had a quarterback since Randall Cunningham. They don't remember that, though. They don't remember those long years of winning nothing and being nothing. So, my thing is, when you're misused, mistreated, not given the credit you deserve, hey, I would have been in Chicago this year. Instead of Cutler, if I was Donovan, I would have been in Chicago. That's a whole nother topic for another day. But I'm going to talk about Donovan McNabb on another post. But right now, Jason Campbell, his quarterback rating last year was higher than Joe Flacco, higher than Ben Roethlisberger, higher than some quarterbacks that you would say, oh, I'd take those guys in a minute over Jason Campbell. But why? Now, once this guy gets into a system that he's in for a while, and you put the pieces around this guy, he's going to be one of the top premier quarterbacks in the league. No, he's not flashy. He doesn't go out and jump around and all emotional and all the other kind of stuff that sometimes you look for from quarterbacks. But the guy's going to be a solid player, and I don't know why he doesn't get his due. He's young, been in the league a couple, 3-4 years, didn't start his first year, and it's just really, it just saddens me almost the way this guy has been treated by the Redskins. Dan Snyder, from what I can see, with putting together teams and how he's handling players, he may have a lot of money, but knowing anything about winning football, he knows nothing about that. So Jason Campbell, this is my shout out to you. Man, keep doing what you're doing. I hope you have a stellar year, 4,000 yards, 30 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, something just mind-boggling. And I hope your team wins. Even though I'm not a Redskin fan, there's a lot of Redskin fans here in my neck of the woods, Greensboro, North Carolina. As a matter of fact, one of my friends, Rodney from the barbershop, he big Redskin fan, and I told him ever since they drafted Campbell, I like this kid. I think he's going to be a great player, provided he's in the right environment, in the right system. He's not a system quarterback. He just needs solid management and solid coaching staffs, and this guy will be fine. But he's taking everything in stride. Even the stuff with Cutler, I mean, his attitude about that was just exemplary. He didn't go out and start making a bunch of demands, didn't say anything negative in the media, anything like that. He's just going out about his business this year, doing his job. Started off the year pretty well. They didn't win against the Giants, but that's a rivalry game in New York, and he played pretty well. But I hope he has a stellar season. And this is my thing with these guys, man, and I know they don't just do that, but when you're mistreated, when you're taken for granted, and for some reason it seems like it's these black quarterbacks that this happens to, I would be so out of Washington next year. I don't care how much money Dan Snyder offered, I would not play there. Find your team, man, that's going to appreciate your talent, put winning people around you, winning organization, and do your thing, bruh. That's what I would say to you. Look, I'm a Tennessee Titan fan. If Vince doesn't get it together this year, next year, hey, I'd love to have you in Tennessee, man, because we got a serious organization. Now, enough of that. Jason Campbell, do your thing, bruh. And again, it's the truth in sports, where I'm going to give you the truth just like it is, because you'll know the truth if you listen to me, and the truth will make you free. I'm out.